Hello everybody, let's get started. So you have 4 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, 4. But before you take those off, you have to take off this bracket here that holds the cable in place. Just pull it off. Then you just loosen these and take them off. It was very cold out that day and I couldn't get my nose to stop running, so please excuse all the sniffling. So once you've gotten all those off, just take off this horseshoe right here. And then you can loosen this, I think it's called the B plus cable or B positive cable. Loosen that nut, and I actually broke it right here. Luckily, the new alternator came with a new one, so it wasn't a loss. And that's where I broke it. Down here is where the where you'll put your torque wrench, right in there. Took me forever to find, but that's where you put it. And all you need is the torque wrench itself. You don't need a socket or anything, just this square piece. It'll fit right in there. It's a 1/2 inch torque wrench. So you just stick that right in there to loosen the belt. And then when the belt is loose, you remove the belt from the alternator. You can see when I pull it to the driver's side, I'll zoom out a little bit. If you pull the wrench to the driver's side, it'll loosen the belt. You can see the slack coming off the alternator right there. So when I take the belt off, I don't want to just drop it because I don't want it to come off of any of the pulleys. So I'm just taking this ratchet strap right here and I'm going to connect it to it. And that way it'll keep the tension on and hold it in place for me. So I'm pulling the torque wrench to the driver's side. And then when the tension is released, I just pull the belt off of the alternator. And it's already connected to the ratchet strap. All I have to do is tighten the ratchet strap to hold it taut. Now there are 2 bolts underneath that hold the alternator in place that I haven't shown yet, but I will show these further on in the video. I'm loosening those right now. You don't have to remove these like I did. You just have to loosen them because the alternator just sort of sits right on top of them. So just loosen them, leave them in place, loosen them enough so the alternator can lift off, and that'll be fine. And then you can just remove this connector. You'll probably need a screwdriver to get that off unless you have a special tool for it, which I didn't. So a flathead screwdriver works just fine. And then you can just pull it right out. Enter the new alternator, and you just do everything in reverse. So right here I'm plugging in that connector. Had a tough time doing it. You gotta make sure that the tab goes in the right spot. And then just snap it in there. And after you get it in place, just give it a tug and make sure that it's connected all the way. And then it's time to connect this B positive cable. Now I made a mistake doing it right here. What I did was when I tightened it, I left it at an angle that allowed the cable to touch a metal part of the engine right behind the alternator. And that cable just happened to be worn right there at that spot where it was touching, and I shorted it out when I connected the battery back to it. So what I would do if I were you is just sort of pre-fit it and make sure that that B positive cable is not touching the engine, and also to make sure that the bare wire is not exposed. So don't make the mistake that I made. And if you do have trouble with the battery, or if you go to connect the terminals back to the battery, which by the way, you should disconnect the battery before you work on the alternator. But if you go to put those terminals back and you see electrical arcing, that's probably what your problem is, the B positive cable. So make sure that it's not touching any metal pieces of the engine and shorting it out. So right here I'm just putting those bolts back in there that I didn't have to take out in the first place, but I did like a dummy. So I'm just putting those in. Obviously I'm not going to tighten them all the way until I have the alternator back on top of them. And here are those bolts. The alternator just sits right on top of those, as you'll see. You can actually see right here where that B positive cable touches that metal piece back there. I didn't realize it at this time, but that will definitely cause you a problem if that wire is exposed, like this one was. I'm going to go ahead and tighten those 2 bolts back down. I decided to make this video because I searched YouTube for a video for the 2003 F250 5.4 liter alternator replacement, and I couldn't find anything. So hopefully this helps you guys out. So now it's time to put the belt back on the alternator, and you do the same thing. You pull the torque wrench, put the torque wrench in that spot and pull it to the driver's side. And while you're pulling it to release the tension, you just slip it back onto the alternator. At which point you can release the ratchet strap. And make sure that the belt didn't come off any of the pulleys, which mine came off of this one to the left. So I just went and fixed that real quick. Then you can put the horseshoe back on top. Put the bolts back in, and don't tighten them all the way yet until you have all 4 in case you need to adjust it at all. I had trouble getting one of them in because I had tightened this first one down almost all the way and couldn't move it and able to get the bolt to fit in the threads. And once you get these all tightened down, you're done. So hook the battery back up and start her up and see if it worked. Thanks for watching.